Coming up on the Hard Hittin Wrestling Show, Aleister Black addressed a strong message to the WWE Universe. What is he really trying to say? How can we learn and use it in our way of life? That is the focus in our show and our segment called The Takeaway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare your ear holes for the best wrestling podcast in the world. It's time for the Hard Hittin Wrestling Show.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hard Hittin Wrestling Show. I am your host, Obi Muniz. On this show, we will talk about Aleister Black's last two promos with my analyst, Hollywood Heck Love. But first, let's recap of what had happened on Smackdown and Raw.
On SmackDown, Roman Reigns and the Usos get even with King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. Reigns pinned Corbin for the stipulation win that resulted in Corbin to be handcuffed and dump dog food on him. The Miz and John Morrison win the tag team Fatal 4-Way and become the number one contenders to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross and Sheamus were winners in their matches. Naomi interrupts Bayley, forcing a feud for Bayley's title. And there is a new Intercontinental Champion. Braun Strowman defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. The Monsters Among Men finally broke his own barriers and he wins the first single world title in the WWE. On Raw, Ruby Riott made her return and attacked Liv Morgan. Drew McIntyre took 3 seconds to defeat Mojo Rawley. Murphy with AOP, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio were winners in their matches. Angel Garza has risen to stardom as he entered the Raw roster and has Zelina Vega as a manager. Rhea Ripley confronts Charlotte Flair for a possible WrestleMania match. Flair has not decided and will be on the next NXT, which is Wednesday night, for a decision. There will be a Becky Lynch versus Asuka Part 3, and it will be held on the next Monday Night Raw for the championship. Ricochet becomes the number one contender for the WWE Championship by winning the triple threat match. Brock Lesnar appeared in F5 Ricochet to end the program. Lastly, Randy Orton went speechless, leaving fans with no answer about his actions on the legend Edge. That is the recap of SmackDown and Raw.
Last night, I got eliminated in the Royal Rumble. But before you think that people like Buddy Murphy or Seth Rollins are to blame, the only person accountable for my loss is me. See, if I start something and I don't finish it, then that loss is on me, and I own that loss. And now there is one more thing that I am accountable for. See, these last few months, I have made the mistake of waiting for people to come to me and knock on my door to pick a fight with me. But as of tonight, Raw locker room, that changes because you are no longer the one who picks a fight with me. No, I will bring the fight. Remember when they told you when you were young that you could grow up to be everything that you wanted to be? Only then later on realize that it was quite the opposite. See, I never understood that about our system. See, because that's not me, that's not real. That to me is not authentic. Now, I am a firm believer that people should be whoever they choose to be. Because that right there drives relentless competition. So when I knock down the Raw locker room, there won't be any light that seeps in. I will engulf the whole room in shadows cast from the black mass. And while you are laying there, you will realize that it was done by a person who was told that he could be whatever he wanted to be.
So after hearing Aleister Black and his comments, we understand that he took responsibilities for his action, even though it was not really his fault that he got eliminated at the Royal Rumble, but he understood the task at hand. He's handling things as a professional. Do you agree?
I totally agree, and I think that's what true leadership is. Taking responsibility for your own actions, whether or not you get the job done. If you get the job done, congratulations. If you don't get the job done, take responsibility because you knew what the task at hand was. You did not complete the task. You failed at it. Now you got to get back to that drawing board. And he understands that aspect of that now he had to go back to the drawing board and change things up. So, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Right. And talking about drawing things up, he was waiting for people to come at him and fight him. But he understood that, out of all the superstars there, only one person really showed up, and that was Buddy Murphy. He took it to the test. But surprisingly for himself, like nobody else wanted to step up. So now he's changing the game, and now he's going after every superstar that he approaches.
Yeah, and I think that's the right attitude to have now, because you cannot wait for opportunities to come knocking on your door because it may never come. If you just sit around idle, nothing's ever going to get accomplished. You're not going to find yourself achieving anything, in life. So, yeah, he has to start knocking down doors and let people know, hey, I'm here, and this is what it's going to be about. So, yeah, now he's going to take the fight to people. Now that we should see a whole different side of Aleister Black now.
Everyone should listen to that message, and even though we understand this is wrestling, and many people always say that, hey, wrestling's fake and hearing this and that. I could argue with everybody and telling them, hey, wrestling is not fake. I mean, yes, there's a lot of acting involved, but when it comes to physicality, people could get hurt. That's why they're superstars. But the message that they bring out, especially Aleister Black, is that in life, you got to chase what you want. You know what I mean? You can't sit and wait and let things try to come to you, because things is going to pass right by and you're never going to be what you want to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. You have to go after the opportunity. You got to let people know. You got to show people how serious you are about what you are trying to accomplish. Because, again, if we just sit around just waiting for it to come to us, it's never going to come. And then you're going to start blaming everybody else, and that's not what he's doing. He knew that there had to be a change, and that change is coming to where now he's going to start knocking on people's doors. Whether or not they're going to like it, they're going to have to respect that fact, because not many other superstars are trying to get to that next level. They want things handed to them. And quite honestly, a few of them has had things handed to them, so they don't know what it's like to earn things. So when that time comes for Aleister Black to get what he deserves, it's going to be all because he earned it the way he knows how. And you're right, this whole thing about people saying wrestling is fake, try to step in the shoes of these athletes, because that's what they are. They're trained athletes, okay? The storyline is made up, yes, just like a soap opera. We get it, okay? But to be in that ring and to do the things that they do, you have to be in physical, mental shape, okay? You just cannot be some smojo and think you can get in that ring and do exactly what they're doing. Because these guys who are athletically fit still find their ways of getting injured. Okay, so yeah, this whole fake thing, that people just need to stop and realize what it really is.
I think a few people that do respect it, if you notice the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA, they always have their thing where they trying to be like those superstars before they actually play the game. So I think it's getting around. But those negativities that's out there, which is really pathetic in the social media, all these negativity, they need to bring out the positive on all this. And if you got nothing nice to say, then just don't say it at all.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it's all about being accountable. And that's leading up to our next topic, which was the second half of what we was talking about, is that he doesn't believe that you can grow up to be everything you want to be. He doesn't like that statement. In other words, he's saying the opposite because it wasn't authentic. According to him, it's not authentic. So people should be what they choose to be. because it really drives him when that phrase, and that phrase is from Shakespeare of the play Othello. So what does that mean to you when he stated people should be what they choose to be?
I think that's like, when a child, is growing up and they ask them, what do you want to be in life? And they say, I want to be a doctor, a teacher, or a firefighter, whatever the case is. That child, that person is saying, this is what I want to be. I'm choosing to be this person, not that you're choosing to be somebody you're not. You're choosing to be somebody who's going to, be effective in life, to help others or whatever the case may be. So if that's who you choose to want to be, then that's who you choosing to be, whatever the case may be. I don't think he's trying to say, I'm going to be somebody I'm not. I don't think that's what he's trying to get at there.
A lot of people have those dreams. When you're a little kid, you have a dream of being somebody, and maybe you couldn't get there. You know what I mean? For instance, I wanted to be a police officer when I grow up. Law enforcement, but my path never took me to become a law enforcement. And in fact, it took me to be in the military. It took me to have a job as an IT. It took me a job where I'm a school teacher. You see what I'm saying? So all these paths, I'm still making a difference for others.
Well, yeah, I totally agree, because I'm almost like in the same boat, just because I say I want to be something, I'm choosing to be this in this profession. If it doesn't come about, something along the line is going to cross my path. As long as I keep walking that straight path, to being successful in doing something, if I'm not going to be what I'm choosing to be, I'm bound to do something similar to it. I'm still going to not give up. I'm not going to wait for opportunity to come to me. I got to keep on knocking on the doors of these opportunities. Even if I have to break that door down and go in there, I have to continue trying and not give up, because if you just give up on the first try, then you don't know what the next door may have for you. So you got to continue going.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's the similar situation I'm going through. Is like every time I put myself in a situation, another door opens and another door opens, and it keeps opening because I'm striving to do better. You know what I mean? It's either you meet someone that you have met a long time ago that's in that position and you're enter, or somebody oversees you, like, man, that guy's professional. He's doing a good job. Hey, give him an opportunity to do this. It's a perfect message all the way. And thankfully that Aleister Black mentioned that in the last 2 episodes of Monday Night Raw. For those, like I said, stay tuned, because I think more messages will come from Aleister Black next week, and until he actually finds an actual opponent to go against, because as of late he's been wrestling jobbers. So not so much for Eric Young, but Eric Young still didn't have a chance to defeat Aleister Black. But hey.
And, let me chime in, and I think with Aleister Black, he has proven himself. When he came up in the ranks of the NXT, he was given that opportunity because he proved himself, and he became NXT champion. So he knew that was just the beginning of his career. So what's the next step? Let's move up to the next level roster of the WWE. And so, yeah, it may seem like, he's getting these jobber matches here and there, or maybe a good match with Eric Young or Buddy Murphy, but that's what it's going to take to get to that next level. Then he's doing everything right. It's not like he was just handed the NXT title and said, okay, now we need you to move up. He earned that spot, and he earned the next level being on the Raw roster. And so seeing how, if it may work for him in NXT, he notices it's not working for him at Raw, it's not going to be the same. You have to change things up. You're in the same profession, but at a different department, and things are going to run differently here. So you gotta, take charge and do things differently if you want different results. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he's doing. So that's why I think he's going to take the fight, no matter who it is, whether it be a Bobby Lashley or a Brock Lesnar, whoever it may be, whatever he has to do to get to that next level, he's going to do it.
Yeah. I'm all in for that one. One last question for you before we I'll let you go. What is your prediction? Should he have a WrestleMania match? who would you like him to match up with?
Wow. That's a good question. I mean, taking away the fact that whether he's a heel or a face, just to see a good match, I would like maybe somebody like Rey Mysterio. You know, someone who's been in the game long enough and who can match speed for speed. You know, Rey Mysterio still has something in the tank. And, you know, he's had a lot of great matches here lately. Whether he's winning or losing, he still shows that he got what it takes. You know, he is Mr. 619 for a reason. So I think, you know, for me personally, I think someone like that will be a great test for Aleister Black to see what he truly can bring to the table. Because I don't think we've really seen the true full potential of Aleister Black here on Raw just yet.
I've been like thinking about it so much about who could this guy handle in WrestleMania. And I was thinking about one legend, but I'm thinking I'm too far off of it. But I wanted to say was The Undertaker. Just because that, even though I predict The Undertaker and The Fiend to be in WrestleMania, I don't think that's going to happen just because there's a lot of rumors speculating that Roman Reigns will battle with The Fiend. And, I mean, that's what it's boiled down to. And we probably won't even find out until after the Elimination Chamber. But I think that would have been a great opponent just because, I don't know, I'm trying to decode that last part of that message when he's talking about the black masses and stuff like that. That's the only thing I really could think about. I mean, I just don't know who else could be that guy to link up with Aleister Black. But you're right. Rey Mysterio is another guy. Whether it's Humberto Carrillo, Andrade, I think Andrade would be a perfect match for him, even though they had one match, and that was in Smackdown. But I think that would be perfect for them to pair off leading into the United States Championship.
You know, another person that come to mind would be Daniel Bryan. You know, his wrestling techniques, his style. You know, I think he will give Aleister Black all he can handle. You know, and really bring out that true potential that Aleister Black has. And I think he needs that. He needs somebody like who we're mentioning here to bring that out, you know, because I think he's still holding back. You know, I don't think we've seen the full potential of Aleister Black yet, you know, and I think that's what's holding him back from even getting a title shot. He's got a great future ahead of him on Raw. He's not going nowhere, you know, but if he has to knock on people's doors, you know, whether that means he's going to get put on the ground or he's going to put that person on the ground, he's got to do what he's got to do, and I don't blame the man. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to go straight to the top, then do what you got to do, you know. But just don't bite off more than you can chew, because there are some big dogs who's been in the game for a long time. You know,
right.
You know, you don't want to get caught by a Randy Orton. You know,
you definitely don't. And that's another topic there. But you're right. Hey, so to wrap things up on this one, and according to the message from Aleister Black, is one. Focus on a solution rather than problems. Everyone can list a bunch of problems, but if you don't find a solution to them, you're never going to, advance. Avoid blaming others. Focus on yourself. Do what you can handle. And whatever you can handle, you can influence others. Okay? Just focus on your own problems. And instead of thinking about fairness and stuff like that, hey, there are many ways to solve a problem. It might work one way for you, but it might not work for others. But as long as you are trying and you're succeeding, everything's going to fall into place. And that's how you accept responsibility. And as far as people should be what they choose to be, hey, just be you. You can't be other people. Only you know who you are. And nobody else could drive that but you. Thank you, Hector, a.k.a. Hollywood Heck Love, for coming on to the show. It's awesome to have you around. Especially, you're always a phone call away. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for listening to our show. Visit the website, hhwshow.com, for the latest podcasts and blogs. This concludes our segment called The Takeaway. On behalf of Clovercrest Media and myself, take care, everyone. This is the Hard Hittin' Wrestling Show.